Right, let's start today's session. So last lecture we were discuss about how many possible ways to write Python code and execute, right? Using interactive mode, using script mode, and using IDLE software, and also PyCharm editor as well as VS Code, Visual Studio. So I said already this is our permanent editor, which I am going to continue this editor on. Let me open a project which I created in the last lecture by using PyCharm. Okay. So first let's go to PyCharm editor. Go to search and type PyCharm. There you can see 2025.2. The moment when I open PyCharm, in the recent times on which project I work, that project is opening. This is Python project 8 but your project it is not. To open your project, simply go to file menu of PyCharm, open option, and go to the location where you have saved. I saved all my PyCharm projects in C drive, users, computer name, and PyCharm projects. What was the name I have given last lecture? Python project 9a. This is our folder. So select this folder and click on this. Immediately it will ask you few options. Do you want to open in this window? If you click, in place of 8 a.m., 9 a.m. will be joined. New window means it's completely extremely, it will create new window. Attach means below 8 a.m., 9 a.m. also will be attached. Cancel means this window will be cancelled. Let me open this window. So these are the programs which we discussed in the last lecture, test and test1.py, which we have written already, right? Yes. Give me 1 second. Yeah. So these two programs we discussed. In today's session, I am going to discuss Python fundamentals. Python fundamentals. These fundamental concepts must and should aware, sir. You should not ignore these fundamentals because these are most important in the further basic programming. First fundamental concept is comments. Comments. Next fundamental concept is keywords or reserved words. Next concept is identifiers. Next variables. Next multiple assignment. And finally, Python indentation. So total 6 fundamental concepts you must and should aware. So comments, keywords, identifiers, variables, multiple assignment, and indentation. So first we'll start with comment. This is very simple. In every language, comments are common, sir. Even in C, C++, Java, you have to give comment section when you don't want to execute some lines of logic. So there are two different ways are there to use comments. Option 1. Suppose you are the programmer, you are writing some logic, but while writing logic, you have not leave any comments. All of a sudden, you left from job, you resign your job. In place of your role, somebody will join. When they look back your code, they don't understand really what purpose you have written code earlier, right? So if you leave the comments like description about that program, when they look back your code, while reading your comment section, they understand well why you have written the code. This is one reason we can use comments. Other reason, if you don't want to execute some lines of code, okay, you have some group of lines of code, but in the middle, you want to avoid that lines from the execution, put them into comments. So whenever you put that comment line, Python interpreter will ignore those lines from the execution, means exclude from the execution. Again, whenever you want to include, you can include by uncomment. But always in Python, comment starts with hash. No matter either it is single line comment or multi-line comment, hash only. For example, you have a program called this program. When I run this, and you will be able to get the result. Okay, run test 1. We are seeing the result here. Along with this I am writing 2 more lines of code here. Print. Welcome, like this. And these 2 lines also will execute, right? And if you want to give comment section, then better to use as symbol starting with here. If I execute, then it will not execute. So interpreter ignore these 2 lines. Do you want to give uncomment? Then you can remove as symbol, then it is a part of execution. But 1 or 2 lines we can manage somehow like this. Manually we can give as symbol, right? But suppose whole program I don't want to execute. Then there is a shortcut for giving comment section in PyCharm editor. Control+/. Select how many lines do you want to really comment and hit the Control+// from your keyboard. For suppose here you can see selecting all lines, Control//. Automatically that into comment section. When I run, we don't get any output. Again, uncomment also same. Select the program by hitting Control A. A means select all. Control// uncomment. So comment, uncomment, both are same. Control// Control// like this. So this is the comment section in Python. And not only this, to avoid execution, you can write any description about your program like this. Just this is Django data, but you can write meaningful information and it will not consider into the execution. Your program won't execute, which is commented, that will not execute. So this is about comments in Python. Next, keywords are reserved words. These are also very common. In every programming language, some keywords are there that are reserved words. Why we are calling it as reserved words means each word can be reserved for some particular task. For which task it is reserved, as a programmer, you should use for same task. You can't change for that task. So one keyword is there, for example, if is a keyword in Python. This keyword is reserved for testing the condition purpose. As a programmer, you must use only for condition testing, not for other. def is a keyword. To define a function purpose, this keyword is reserved. When you want to define a function, we can use this keyword. But you can't use this keyword for other purpose. So every keyword is having its own purpose and purpose is reserved. You must and should use the keyword for same purpose only. First of all, I should bring keywords in Python. What kind of keywords are they? For that, I am adding new file. Test2 is my series of the program. See, sir, these 2 lines of code is enough to bring the keywords in Python. Import keyword, print keyword.kw list. Here, what is this keyword means? It's a library. So Python became a popular language just because of its having huge standard libraries. Meaning is what? Once the moment we install Python software, you will get plenty of built-in libraries. Each library contains some built-in functionality. Already they developed some logic. We are ready to use it. So this is one of the library called keyword. In this library, they are having lot of keyword lists. That's what KW list I'm using. Once the moment you execute test2.py, and you will see plenty of keywords are coming and displaying. These are all keyword lists. Every keyword is reserved for some particular task. So all the keywords are there. But notice this first 3 keywords: false F capital, none N capital, true T capital. Because Python is a case sensitive language. That's what you have to be careful. Capital letter, small letter. Only first 3 keywords are started with capital. Remaining all keywords are lowercase only. For suppose you can see here I'm using one keyword already, import. So here in this keyword list, there is an import keyword is there. Generally, this keyword can be used for what purpose? To import libraries. I'm using that keyword already. But you can't use this keyword as like variable, like you can see. If is a keyword, sir, actually, for conditional check, but I am using as a variable. Like how we declare a equal to 10, that I am using if equal to 10. That's invalid. So you can't use one of the built-in keyword for your variable. Suppose if I use IFF, I'm adding. It is valid, sir. Because there is no keyword name like IFF. I am using this name as my variable name. Variable name, you can use any name apart from keywords. It works well. We are printing value also. So I mean to say what actually in this keyword list, don't use any keyword for your own task because they are all are reserved for some particular task to do. Each keyword is having its own style or its own meaning. When the moment we use keywords in Python program, then Python interpreter can understand by using these keywords only what to do. So keywords will convey a special message to the interpreter to do a particular task. Or suppose in this program import keyword I am using. Interpreter can understand that user is looking for importing keyword library like that. So we are conveying the message. Don't worry, all the keywords will be covered in our logics one by one. In the situation wise, we'll discuss all the keywords clearly. So this is keyword list and reserved one. Next, identifier. This is also important, sir. See how I can identify you? By your name, right? So same in Python. If you want to identify anything, some name is required. Either it can be a variable name or function name or class name or attribute name, any name. We need some name. That name is nothing but identifier. Suppose here a equal to 10 I am using. I want to identify this 10 value by name A. So if you want to access 10, compulsory we have to use what name? A name. I am identifying this variable value by using its name only. But make sure that there are some rules and regulations to provide names. Okay, total 8 rules are there. You must follow. So that's what each rule I'm explaining. Rules to define the identifiers. Rules to define the identifiers. Rule number 1. Identifier can be a lowercase or uppercase. And rule number 2 says that identifiers are case sensitive. First, we'll cover these 2 rules. Means while giving the names, variable name, class name, function name, either you can use lowercase approach or uppercase approach. But make sure that which approach you mention the name, lowercase means I have to access lowercase. Uppercase means you have to access uppercase only. That's what I'm saying. Second rule is case sensitivities. Okay. Let's say, for example, in the program, EMP ID is a variable name. 1, 2, 3, 4 is a value. How I am accessing? Same name, EMP ID. It works well. But the moment when I try to access EMP ID capital letter, wrong. Because you have not defined the variable name capital letters, but still you are attempting to access capital letter. That's not correct. Name error. At least you have to define the name in capital letters. This works well. How the way you define the name, same way how to access. But remember, I don't really recommend to give the names in capital letters. Why? The reason is, it works well, but unnecessarily don't mention the names in capital case. If you give the names in capital case, the perception or context will be changed. What is that? For example, in other programming languages like Java, .NET, they're having const, int, const, keyword, a equal to 10 or 100. This is constant, right? Constant means in other programming language, the approach is constant keyword they can use and this value is fixed. Nobody can change. But in Python, there is no constants concept. Okay. But if you want to really to claim or to represent your variable and value are constant, so you must use capital letter. EMP ID equals to 1, 2, 3 means who knows very well about Python rules and regulations like other programmers, they know really by looking this, they can call it as constant. So they can understand that programmer is declared the capital letter names. So this is the value is fixed 1, 2, 3, 4, better not to change. But still, if they want to change, they can change. because Python do not support constants. Just for conveying purpose. Okay, how I can say to other programmers, this my value is fixed, better not to change, means I can declare capital letter. So small letter means not a general usage like this. Do you want to really represent your values constant, means in Python, all cases are capital case. So that's the reason why I don't really recommend normal usage of variables, capital letters. Okay, capital letter context is constants only. Okay. Next, rule number 3. Rule number 3. So identifier allows the digits. While giving the name, digits also part of the name. But make sure that identifier should not start with digit. It should not start. You can include digit anywhere, but it should not be start. For example, EMP1, ID9. Yeah, digits also included in my variable EMP1 ID9. It works well. Okay, numbers also part of the name. But I'm saying it should not start with a digit. Like 8 EMP1 started my variable with 8 only. This is not correct approach. So it leads to an error. Apart from digit, you have to start with any character, but in the middle or last or anywhere you can include digits only. Possible, sir. This is. So rule number 3 and 4 says like this. And rule number 5, identifier. That means it allows the underscore. Only the special character is underscore character only will be as allowed, sir. Remaining special character like asterisk, dollar sign, star, no. Only this is underscore character allow. That too, why actually identifier should not be 2 or more parts. If the name is having two parts or more parts, better to combine those parts by using underscore sign. That's the reason we will allow only underscore symbol. For suppose here EMP space ID is there, sir. My variable name contains two parts, right? EMP one part, ID is another part. It's invalid actually. But you want to separate them, at least you have to combine them by using underscore sign. So it's working with underscore sign. Well, good. You can see. Valid. But in Python language, rule number 7, if any identifier starts with an underscore, then it is private. See, sir, in Java.NET, people having the option like private int EMPID or public int EMPID. They can have the options like access specifiers are there. Private, public, protected, default, internal, challenge. But in Python, there is no such type of access specifiers. But in Python, how I can say my variable is private, my variable is public means simply underscores will decide. Suppose here I'm saying that by default in Python language, every variable is a public. Tell me, sir, this variable is start with any underscore? No, it's a public. But once the moment I starts with underscore, like double underscore, there is a meaning, single underscore separate meaning, double underscore separate meaning. In the later portion, I'll tell you that clearly. Right now, this is not the correct situation to talk about this underscores private and public. And especially in object-oriented programming, I'll discuss clearly what is private, what is public. So this is private variable. See, private means very simple, sir. In which context you declare private variable, like in which class? In the same class only we have to access, not other class. Outside, no. But if you declare variable as public, means no underscore in one class, you can access other class anywhere we can access because publicly available here. Anybody can access, anybody can modify it. But sometimes as a programmer, I need some restriction on my variables. Someone should not modify, someone should not allow to access. Then I can declare as a private. Java programmers, .NET programmers, they are having access modifiers, private, public like this. We can have these underscores through. If you represent your variable name or method name double underscore, this is private. If I don't use public. So default behavior of variables and methods are public only in Python. And last rule number 8, which I have already discussed. No keyword or reserved word can be used as identifier. So for example, you can see that def is a keyword. This keyword is generally for defining the function, but you are using the variable. It's not correct. So variable name, unique name, but it is not part of the keyword names. No keyword or reserved word can be used as identifier. Okay, fine. So this is keyword name. Generally, this keyword can be used to define a function. You cannot use this as variable. So total 8 rules must be followed while giving the names like identifier. These rules can applicable for variable names, function name, class name, any names are not only variable name. For all names in Python, it works. You should follow. Next fundamental concept is variables. Can you say variable is also called as identifier? Variable is also called as identifier. Yes, because I said identifier means variable name, class name, or function name. So in Python, variable is also called as identifier. Variable is also called as identifier. It's a name. But variable is having separate definitions. What is the definition of variable? Means variable is a named memory location of the value. In Python, every value has its variable. Every value has its variable. But in Python, while declaring the variable, we need not to specify the data type because Python is a dynamically typed programming language. Dynamically typed programming language. Variable is also called as identifier. Variable is a named memory location of the value. In Python, every value has its variable. Means, for example, 10. It is not correct format. 10 means what? Value. But it has to store somewhere, right? So every value has its variable means you should say a equal to 10. This is correct. So this value has its own variable called a. All of a sudden, I'm asking question. This 10 will go and stored in where? For a, Python must and should assign some memory. Why? It has to hold in that memory 10 values. That's the reason I'm saying variable is a named memory location of the value. In the name of a memory, 10 value is going to store. If you access print a, then this 10 value will come from this a memory. But in Python, while declaring the variable, you need not to specify any data type like int, float, no. Other language, this is compulsory, mandatory. But in Python, we have already discussed it's a dynamically typed language. Dynamically means during the program running time. But other languages like C, C++, Java are statically typed languages. Statically means during writing time. So writing time only the programmers declare the data type. But in Python, dynamically running time, automatically, Python only decides the data type of your variable based upon its value. That's what we need not to specify any data type. Suppose you can see int a equals to 10, but it's wrong. Invalid declaration, sir, it is. It's not allowed. You should not mention data type from your side, right? If I mention like this is valid. But just do you want to know as per your curiosity what type is decided for Python my variable data type means you can also know the type of A. Type is a built-in function to know the data type of your variable. Suppose here 10.9 I'm giving. My value is changed. Now what type decides the variable A inside program Python will decide for variable A is float type only. If I try to give the name like group of characters, these are string, right? If I try to give only one character, actually according to other language, char data type. Char can, you may think like that char can be represented in single code. Yes, single code only I'm giving. Look at this. In Python, within the single quotes or double quotes, even single character or multiple characters or anything by default treated as string only. No char. You can see type is string. So ultimately, I can say in Python, there is no char data type. Even single character also considered as string. But not even single character here inside the quotation mark, single quotes, any numbers also if I give string only. Simple. In the quotation marks, what you give, that string. If once I remove this quotation mark, it leads to integer. Again, it's a number, right? Yeah. So this is the case. Data type automatically will decide during the program execution time based upon the value. So it's a programmer friendly in Python because as a programmer, we need not to think much more which data type should I assign for my value. Just to focus on what value you want to assign, which variable. It will take internal. But other language people should suffer a lot. You have to decide, you have to prior knowledge on data types. And one more thing, it doesn't mean that Python don't support data types, sir, because we are not giving data types. Python only will decide data types. It not meaning that Python don't have data types. It's having plenty of data types. Int, float, bool, complex, string, list, tuple, set, data structures. That's what. There is no option for you. As a programmer, you should not decide. See, there is no option in Python. Programmer should not decide the data type. It's syntax error, syntactically wrong. This approach is not included in Python. Why? Because Python is a dynamically typed language. Dynamic means runtime. During the runtime, it take care all those things. Like this. It's work. Can you please tell me, is this valid? Yes. Underscore. This is not meaning that I am deciding integer. No. Int underscore a altogether one name. Your variable name, that is like that. It's possible. No problem at all. Okay. Int underscore a. Type of int underscore a like this. So it's valid only. And remember, sir, every value has its variable and variable is a named memory location, I'm saying. Do you want to know in which memory it is going to store a variable means? You can see there is a built-in function again in Python ID. ID means identity. It's always display the memory address of variable. Memory address means it's a unique number. ID is a built-in function and it is used to get memory address of variable or any name and it return unique integer memory address number. This is unique address. In this memory address, a value can store this value 8576 like this. First, suppose observe a value 10, sir, b value 20. Print a, print b, I'm doing. Okay, print type of b, that is both are type integer only, no problem. Print ID of b. What do you think? Will it be same memory or different memory? Obviously different memory. Based on what you are saying? Variable name. A and B, we are giving names to them. Variable name different or value based? Location. Obviously. See, generally, tell me now, what is that? Is this different ID or same ID? According to you, different ID only because you said variable name different, but not correct. Value. Now, you can see this, for example, 20 I'm giving. ID of A, it is representing different memory address number. ID of B, it's different memory address number, not same. Both are different numbers. These are memory. Means in this memory address, 10 value going to store. In this memory address, 20. So Python decides different memory address for each value because of values are different. What happen if I try to give 10 for this B also? Same memory. So now you can see Python decides same memory to store the value 10. Very simple. Memory address for both variable are same, right? Same in the sense what? The 10 value can store in the same memory. You can go to that memory with the name A or with the name B. Any name you can point to same memory address. Even C equal to 10 also, C also represents same memory. With any name, we can go to that memory, you can collect the value 10. 10 is holding in that memory. If value is different, separate memory. 10 will go to other memory, 20 will go to other memory. 20 you need, you can go to that memory. 10 you need, you can go to different memory. Depends on value, Python will decide. If value is same, no matter how many variables are wanted to access this value, allot the same memory, they'll come to same memory and collect that. If value is different, different memory address will be there. Okay. So ID is a built-in function to get the memory address of any variable. Print is a built-in function. It is output to display the value. Type is a built-in function to know the data type of the variable. All are built-in functions we are covering. Okay. So this is about variables section. Next, I'm talking about multiple assignment. Very simple, sir. Here, this is what single assignment. I am assigning single value to the single variable. Here I am using one operator called equal to. This is called assignment operators. We are assigning 10 value to the A. So multiple assignment means it is the process of. Multiple assignment is the process of assigning a single value to multiple variables. And also it is the process of assigning multiple variables to multiple values to multiple variables. Both are same. Single value we can assign to multiple variables and multiple values to we can assign multiple variables. Let me show you that. A10, B10, C10. My value is same, sir, for three variables. Then no need to declare separately A10, B10, C10, right? You can also declare like A equal to B equals A equal to 10. One line expression is done. At once, we are assigning same value to the multiple variables A, B, C. Like this, it works well. But notice this, the output values are printing in line by line, sir. Correct. Why line by line printed? Because I'm using three print functions separately. Can't we bring same line? Means I mean to say same line output. See, just because of I'm using multiple print functions one by one, the orderly it will print output values one by one. My requirement is 10, 10, 10 in the same line I need to get. That is what. Print A comma B comma C. Okay, this is the approach. But notice this, when the moment I use one print A, B, C, what will be the default separator of every value? Space. Every value separated with space. But you have an option in Python. If at all, do you want to provide your own separator like comma? Then in this context, we apply separator attribute, SEP. So it will separate the value with comma, output it comes. Space. But you need any other separator, comma or colon or some hyphens What separator do you want? You can use it. Is it clear? So SCP is the attribute. These attributes are used to separate the value like this one. A comma B comma C, we are bringing same time. This is assigning single value at once to the multiple variables. But I said multiple assignment is also process of assigning multiple values to multiple variables. Meaning is what here? A, B, C equal to 10, 20, 30 like this. Print A, print B, print C. See, orderly will be assigned. 10 goes to A, 20 goes to B, 30 goes to C. We are printing A, B, C line by line. We got the output line by line. But my requirement is I want to bring this output values in the same line. I know that print A comma B comma C if I use, I will get it. But still my requirement is still I need to use 3 print functions only. I don't want to go A comma B comma C. If I go through, I can bring it output same line. But my requirement is what? 3 print functions I must use. Still, I have to bring the output into same line. Okay. In this context, there is another attribute which I am introducing. End attribute. Okay. End attribute. If I use end attribute, after A value print 10, space will be provided. After space, next variable value will be joined in the same line. Again, after space, next variable value will be joined in the same line. C after there is no variable. That's what I'm not giving C after end only. So we are bringing that into same line. Though we are printing 3 functions, still I'm getting same line. But along with this end attribute, we can also mention what? Separator like comma. Do you want to separate each value with comma? You can use. Is it clear? Yeah. So end attribute. So 3 print function through, we are bringing same line. But sir, above example, you can notice, even if we use single line statement, my requirement is, even though if I use print A comma B comma C, but still I want to go for 10, 10, 10 line by line, I have to make it. These are both. So you have to mention separator with slash n. Slash n means one print is there, but still it will go for next line by line. You can see this. Both I am showing. Normally print A comma B comma C in the sense same line will appear, but still you want to go for next line slash n. Normally print A, print B, print C, 3 lines. If I use 3 lines will display, but still you want to make 1 line end attribute. So both must be required, sir. Sir, you may get doubt. So in what context do we use end attribute, sir? What is the need of end attribute like this? Okay, very simple, sir. Sometimes it's required end attribute. In what context means? Just I am telling you example. Later you will come to know. For I in range of 1 comma 1 not. This loop can print what values, 100 values will print. Forget about for loop. Just I'm explaining the purpose of end attribute I'm using. If I print like this, 100 values are printed or not? How it printed? Line by line. As a programmer, if I want to see the output, I have to scroll down, keep on. But I can't scroll down. If 100 values, okay. 10,000 values. So I don't want to scroll down. So make it bring into same line. If I bring same line, it's easy for me to see the all values at once without having scrolling option like this, right? So this is a just purpose I am explaining. So this is about multiple assignment concept, assigning single value to multiple variables and assigning multiple values to multiple variables. And then last fundamental concept, which is really important, sir. Most of the beginners will get confusion here on indentation. See, sir, to understand the indentation process, first let's have the example. But make sure that this example is not going to work with Python. I'm writing this example with other language context like Java.NET. Int I equal to 10. This is the declaration in other language. If I equal to 10, open bracket, close bracket. If it is Java, system.out.println, true I want to say, my condition. Else, block, open and close. Again, here in the middle of the bracket, system.out.println, false I have to say. What is meaning of this program? Tell me. Very simple, right? I initialize variable I and value is 10. In the next line, I have condition I am passing. If I value equal to, double equal to means comparison, relational. Single equal to means assignment. If 10 equal to 10, correct. Correct means if condition evaluates to true. True means control jump into which block? If block. In case if my value is 100, 100 equal to 10 in the comparison, false. False means control jump into which block? Else block. It will print the result. So remember, other language people to consider a block of code like either if block, else block, for loop block, while loop block, any function block, they use curly brackets, open curly brackets, close curly brackets. In between these two brackets, how much code you have written, that code under comes into if block. But in Python language, to consider a block of code, we don't use any curly brackets. Even curly brackets are not allowed. Instead of curly brackets in Python, to consider a block of code, what we use? Indentation. What is the meaning of indentation? Means 4 simple spaces. 4 spaces. Indentation. Suppose you can see this. If I write code in Notepad in Python, observe carefully, sir. Python logic, this is I am writing. I equal to 10. No semicolon, no integer. If I equal to 10. This is the syntax of Python, sir. No brackets also required. Later you will come to know if condition, else condition syntaxes. Here my intention is not to talk about how if will work, how else work. Indentation. Press enter. Where is the cursor is blinking? Starting line, right? As usual, programmer can start write code like this. Again, else block. Where is the cursor is blinking? Again, starting. From the beginning, only programmer who don't know about Python syntactical rules and regulation, they can start write this. If I write like this in Notepad, it will give error. So that's what Notepad writing skills are different. You should know all the rules and regulations, then only you can able to manage the code in Notepad. For example, let me write, sir, same code if I'm writing, let me open Notepad. In the last lecture, we have shown, right, how to write code in Notepad and execute. This is my Notepad code and save this code in my desktop. I'm saving the code with the name like sample.py, sample.py, and run this code by using command prompt. Okay, you know how to run this code in command prompt, right? Go to command prompt. My desktop is present in OneDrive location, so that's what I'm moving OneDrive and cd space desktop. Finally, sorry, cd space desktop. Finally, I'm running what? Python code. What is the file name? Sample.py. Now, sir, sample.py file already there. What you are expecting the result according to this I value equal 10 means I am expecting what? True. But you can see the result is not true. Error. What error? Indentation error. That logically code is correct, but not structurally, which we have written in Notepad. This is the problem, sir, while writing code in Notepad. So you have to take care indentation levels properly. Other language people, they can use curly brackets, open and close. In the middle, they can inject some lines that will comes to block. But here each line is considered as individual code. There is no block. So to consider the block of code in Python, 4 space indentation, look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4 space. And here 1, 2, 3, 4 space. Now this time what will happen? This print under comes into if block. This print under comes into else block. Save the changes. Go back to, we got the result. This is what we have to manage the code in Python. Notepad, if you write, there is a problem. But these problems will not at all come if you write code in proper editor like PyCharm. Because PyCharm editor will have the auto indentation levels option. So automatically indentation levels will be captured. But you may get doubt, sir, compulsory, is that mandatory to maintain the 4 spaces indentation levels like this? No, at least 1 space is required. You can see this. At least 1 space, 1 or more like this. It also work. 1 or more, but at least 1 is required. Why is particularly I'm saying once 4 space means by default PyCharm will have the indentation levels are 4 space. So this is what the problem actually. If you write code in Notepad, we face problem. But you can write same logic in PyCharm editor. You can see I equal to 10. If I equal to 10, then press enter. You can observe cursor very blinking after indentation. But in Notepad, it was not. Starting only blink, you have to adjust that manually. But in PyCharm editor, there is no problem. We can write the logic clearly with auto indentation levels. So it works well. 10 equal to 10 true. And 100 equal to 10 not correct. It will go to else block false. Here also, if you don't give indentation levels, now you will get indentation error. And at least 1 space is mandatory. But by default in PyCharm, 4 spaces. Why 4 spaces? You can see in the default settings here below 4 spaces you are looking. By default, when we install PyCharm editor, the 4 space indentation levels automatically set. Even if you press enter after if block and after leaving 4 spaces, your statement's going to be possible to write. So this is indentation levels. These are indentation only considering in the block of code, not normally. Do you want to write multiple statements? Print hello, welcome, hi. No need indentation. Directly straight away you can write. If block, else block, for loop block, while loop block, function block, any block. If you define one function, in that function body you want to write lot of logic, you can move side, write it. So this is about total 6 fundamental concepts which we discussed. These are very important and crucial. Without these rules, you can't. See, sir, you can learn any subject from root. That will be good. Basics are important. Later, automatically, the intermediate level programming and high level programming, you can manage it easily. Most of the software programmers will suffer. They ignore basics. Then they can search advanced level code. they cannot able to understand if they don't know basic, right? Don't worry about advanced level of coding because nowadays it's task is easy to become a software programmer. Once you crack the interview, then your job is secured because of AI. Many of them are depending on AI. So just you should get the basic and minimum knowledge. And also you have to know how to use AI tools. This batch already I have announced it in my demo session. This will be included lot of AI tools also. ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude, all I'll include. So that you will increase the searching capability. Once AI is giving, obviously AI will give accurate code, sir, undoubtedly. But only the thing is, you should be in a position to understand what it is giving, how it is useful, where you have to inject in your logic, you have to know that. So along with AI, okay, so HI also required. Human intelligence is required. Okay, without HI, there is no use of AI. So because only AI is giving, but you can only manage the things, right? All. So that's what it's required. So to know that human intelligence process, we are learning Python from scratch. Once you learn, no need to write our own manual code. Collect the AI and the code you can integrate with your logics. So this is about complete fundamental sessions. Who are in online especially, we just completed all demo lectures. If you really wish to continue my lectures from tomorrow, you can feel free to contact DURGASOFT for enrolling this course. Okay. Yes. And who are new to this session, please watch my 3 demo lectures previously what I conducted. Our team will send the demo link also. You can watch it. Once your enrollment process is over, I'll collect your mail IDs from DURGASOFT and I can start share the videos, 4 videos which I conducted already. Okay. So if you have any question, you can feel free to ask me now.
Sir, is there any entry point in Python as we see that in main in case of the C and C++?
No
That's
entry point, no entry point.
okay, only for the starting first line, it's
Obviously, because it is interpreted language, right?
okay, okay.
Entry point is there internally. If you want to include entry point name, you can use underscore underscore main underscore underscore. But that's not required because internally integrated. That is.
And sir, not mentioning the range like the float for the float and like numbers, anti-care.
No need. Because it is dynamically typed, right?
Okay, okay. Okay, sir.
Please watch my demo videos so that you will get more clarity. So you can already explain this dynamically typed programming language points in my second demo lecture. Please go through it.
Right, sir.
Our team will send the demo links also, which I conducted earlier. You can watch it.
Okay, sir.
Tomorrow onwards, you can, the link will be changed. Who are in online, you can contact DURGASOFT for new link. After enrollment only, you will get the new link. So we complete 4 demo lectures. Okay.